Hello, my name is Eel. I play Vintage Cube, and today we've come here to do exactly that. I hope everyone is feeling refreshed. I hope everyone's skin is clear and their crops are watered. This pack does not have any power in it, unlike the last like 8 drafts we've had. So I actually have to make a decision. Uh, I do like Hero Blade a whole lot. Mishra's Factory is fast artifact mana if we do end up playing that deck. Shark Typhoon, I don't think is good, but it's surprisingly good when our opponents play it. So I don't super like Showdown. We haven't played Mono Red yet, which is weird because that's like one of my favorite decks. So I might just try to force Mono Red. But there's not really any good Mono Red cards. I think I'm just gonna take Sylvan Caryatid. It's a green Rip, so that's good in like any green deck because that's hexproof. I think the other option is like Shark Typhoon. We could also take Stone Coil to stay open, but I think I'm just gonna take Caryatid. I do like Mono Green quite a lot. Okay, this pack. We see Ren and 6, which is good with fetches and strip mine. Krasis is cool and keeps this open. Freyalise is one of the weaker green planeswalkers, in my opinion. It's good with opposition because you get a 1/1 every turn, and it's good against. It's still good, right? Like you can destroy an artifact or enchantment, which is relevant in this format, but it's not like super exciting. I think I'm gonna take Ren and 6. Taking Ren and 6 this early lets me know that I want to prioritize fetches and what's it called? And strip mine and stuff. Okay, in this pack we see honestly. I'm looking at this Eidolon of the Great Rebel. There's really no other good red cards though, which is kind of sus. Ponder is probably the highest win rate card in this pack. Felidar Retreat is also great with Ren and 6. There's also Casualty of Wars, but that is going to come back. No one ever takes that card. And Casualties is usually when you resolve, if you are able to resolve it, you usually win the game because it's like a 3-for-1. It's absolutely brutal. But the downside is it's double black, double green, so it's pretty restricting on mana. Um, this pack isn't actually that exciting. Phantasmal Image is also good. I think I'm just going to take the highest win rate card with Ponder. Again, we're not really sure what we're doing yet. I'll just pack one, you usually just try to take good cards, and then pack two is when you're kind of deciding like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is the deck I'm in. This pack, I actually don't really like Opposition Agent that much. A lot of time it's just a 3-mana play with Flash, which actually isn't that bad, but I mean, the two cards I'm looking at are Chandra and Grave Titan. Chandra's a really strong planeswalker. Grave Titan's a really great payoff. I think since there's a non-zero chance I might end up just sliding into mono red, I could also take Elvish Mystic. I think maybe I'm just taking Elvish Mystic. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Elvish Mystic. I could see an argument to taking Chandra since there was Eidolon in the previous pack, so mono red might be open. There just might have not been any good mono red cards, which would make sense. But Elvish Mystic Sylvan Caryatid is like a good foundation for a deck. So we do have Ponder and Ren and 6. So we could go like either of those two colors. We could end up playing like the Omnath green deck, which is really fun. Ooh, Cryptic Command and Treachery? That's weird. Seeing them both is interesting. Let's take Gilded Lotus. Gilded Lotus would fix our mana if we end up playing a lot of colors. Honestly, getting Ponder and Cryptic in your deck, like maybe I'm not even playing green. Blue just seems kind of open. I'm just gonna take Cryptic. Cryptic and Ponder. So we could go like green. Okay. This seems like green-blue is really open, which is fine. I'd be fine playing green-blue. That makes Cryptic a little bit worse, because usually your mana's like you want green on turn 1, and then you want like what, 3 islands. That's not super likely. But that's okay. It looks like green-blue is pretty open. Mono red looks like it might be slightly open, but you can just play green-blue, that's fine. This would go here, this would go here, this would go here. In this pack, Crucible is interesting. Daze is good interaction. Again, it costs 0 mana. Ramping isn't really a problem. We don't mind picking up a land because we're gonna have so much mana in play. You could also just take Llanowar Elves. Because you might not even be playing Ren and 6. I think I like that better. Because if we do end up playing Cryptic Command, it's not like we have like this is triple blue, and then this will probably end up being green. So we need like a red source that also taps for blue, which could be like Sylvan Caryatid, but I think I like just taking the green cards. That way no one else goes into green, hopefully. Hopefully we get like Oko, Tireless Tracker would be great cards. Soul Ring, Loxes, they're all great. Thief of Sanity is not Ashiok actually. Ashiok has been following me in all these games. Ashiok seems to love me. You could take Raging Rivian unless it's cast Rend in 6, but I'm not even sure them playing that. I don't really like Regrowth that much. It's good in like Storm sometimes. I think I'm just gonna take Acidic Slime. It deals with a ton of different types of permanents. Destroys basically everything that's not a creature or a planeswalker. So it can interact with lands, which is really rare, like that and Beast Within. And like Assassin's Trophy are the only ways you can get rid of like a Colonnade. And also can like they tap out for like Gilded Lotus and then you just Acidic Slime it and then it's like, oh, they're in danger. This pack has no green and no blue, which is interesting. I think I'm just gonna take Avalanche Rider feeds Uro, which I like. I don't think I'm taking Hero of Bladehold. I don't think I'm taking a black card, so I think it's between Burst Light and Avalanche Riders. I think I'm going to take Avalanche Riders. We might end up playing red. And Avalanche Riders would feed Uro, getting more cards in the graveyard. Just kind of like a 4-mana Stone Rain. Deal some damage. That's probably fine. This pack, we could take Overgrown Tomb. That could be better if we get Casualties of War back, or we could just take Freylease, which is going to be good with opposition, which this is looking like a good opposition deck. I think I'm just going to take Freylease. I think the many color green deck is fun, but I don't know if it's good. Here, Casualties of Wars would have been cool if we got Overgrown Tomb, but I think I'm just gonna take Wall of Blossoms. Wall of Blossoms is great in an opposition deck. If we get opposition, I'll be happy. So we're really looking for is fixing. Like I will probably take Trop over pretty much anything, other than like Recall, Black Lotus, like Power, but Trop and fetches are gonna be huge because Cryptic Command is triple blue, which we might not be playing, but it would be nice to play. It's a great card. And then opposition is double blue. So usually you want green to cast your 1-drops, and then you're gonna end up wanting they're gonna end up tapping for green. So you have like a ton of green. Basically, you're gonna be thirsty for blue. Take Maelstrom Pulse. Sink into the sideboard. Blooming Marsh. Huh. Our black green fixing actually would have been pretty good. If we took Overgrown Tomb, Casualties. That might have been more correct. I don't know. We could have been in Sultai, but there's still more cards we get. Huh. There is an Omnath here, which is like kind of the payoff for playing like the 4+ color green deck. It's also Romanov Excavator. We do end up getting a fetch, but I'd rather just take like Search for Tomorrow or Tundra. I don't super like Time Twister. Although we can kind of deploy our hand faster than our opponent can, most likely, so maybe it is good. I think I'm just going to take Tundra. Hopefully get back like one of these 2 green cards, Botanic, or maybe I'm just supposed to take Sanctum. Sanctum fixes for the mana colors that we already have. We could get back Omnath, would be an okay wheel. I'm just going to take Botanical. I like being able to cast my cards. Ooh, okay, so there's actually a lot of good stuff here. There's a blue fetch, but we don't have a duel yet. But I maybe just supposed to anyways. There's an elf, which is fine. Like, that's a great pick. Preordain is really nice. Kind of like Ponder, just has a high win rate card. 1 mana, being able to interact at the top of your library is cool. Nissa is a commodity. It's a mana doubler, but this is more for like big green, like when you're trying to cast Kozilek and stuff like that. But it is good with opposition because you can animate lands, which is nice. Commit is interaction. This is actually kind of hard. There's some good cards in this pack. I think I'm just gonna take Scalding Tarn. Again, I really, really want Trop to fix my mana. So I think I'm just gonna take Scalding Tarn. Here, I think I'm gonna take Dryad. Chromox is really strong, but Dryad fixes our mana and lets us play an extra land per turn. Wasteland would also be really good, but it's not Strip Mine. I'd prefer if it was Strip. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Dryad. Dryad also Uro costs double blue. So we need double blue for that. We need triple blue for Cryptic. It just kind of like fixes our mana by itself if it lives. It has a lot of toughness, so it's actually pretty hard to kill. Here we can take a green fetch, which again, we don't have a duel yet. We could take Krasis, which I don't think someone will take, but maybe they will. That's a good payoff for having a ton of mana. Even if they counter it, you still get a draw, which is really cool. Gilded Goose is a 1 mana dork. I think I'm just gonna take the Foothills. There's good green cards that we'd like to get. There's good blue cards that we'd like to get, so I'm just gonna take the green fetch. Hopefully we get a Trop in our islands, and our lands are amazing. There is a DAC here, and we do have Scalding Tarn Wooded Foothills, so maybe we are playing Wrenn and 6, and then we can actually play DAC in this deck pretty easily. Our fixing for it seems fine. I think that's better than just taking like Everflowing Chalice or Nature's Claim. Nature's Claim is great, but you know what's better than killing an artifact? Taking it. Here, I don't think we're playing Tezzeret, and everything else is kind of like off color. So I'm just gonna take Wandering Fumarole. It does fix our mana if we do end up playing red, which it looks like we might be. In this pack, Trinket Mage doesn't grab anything yet. Pyroclasm's not good. Charter Course would be fine. This card is like worthless. It's worse than Birthing Pod because you can't activate it immediately, and it dies to creature removal. I'm just not really sure what's in the cube, but we could take more mana fixing, which I like. Again, I like being able to cast my cards. I think that's better than Biogenic Ooze because we don't know that we're playing opposition yet. If we knew that we were playing opposition, then Biogenic Ooze is awesome, but we don't know that yet. Natural Order is really good, but Breeding Pool with 2 fetches seems like the dream. We also don't have any big creatures to get with Natural Order yet, so I might end up regretting it, but I'm just gonna take Breeding Pool. I'd like to be able to cast our spells. This is actually, I don't think I've played Teamer in this cube. Definitely not this season, but maybe not ever. And this looks like a pretty decent Teamer deck. We'd love to get Oko. That would be a great card. Tireless Tracker with all these fetches would be really cool. This is looking nice. We have actual fixing for the first time ever. Every time I play this format, I think that I'm taking lands too highly, and then I don't get any of them back. So this time I'm just picking the lands. Seems to be working out okay so far. We have really good fixing, and we can play the broken cards because of it. Hopefully, this deck would be nice with Strip Mine. We're probably not going to get Crucible back, but getting Crucible back or the 3-mana green Crucible would be nice with all these fetches. And in fact, we only need one more. Okay, here's the thing. We need one more color to be able to play Omnath. Like, we need white. And Omnath is so good. But Romanov Excavator with all these lands is probably just better. Because we're probably not going to get... If we get Crucible back, I'll feel silly taking Romanov over Omnath. Because our fixing is really good. Tundra didn't come back, so we can't do that. But I think I'm just going to take Excavator. Every time I play like the 4-color green deck, I always do poorly. Okay, we didn't get it back, so that makes me feel a little bit better. We can just take the Elf. I think is better than Sword of Feast and Famine. We're like light red, so the Dragon is really, really good. I would play it if it was, 5-mana colorless, but it's not, so. Would you need some bigger mana payoffs? So things like Prime Time, Hydroid Crisis would be awesome. I forget if it was in that pack or one of the later ones. I think it is in that pack, actually, so we didn't get Crisis back, which would have been a great payoff, but that's okay. We would still play opposition if we got it. We do have like a bunch of creatures. Foothills, Breeding Pool. Yeah, our mana's looking nice, which is good. We are pretty weak to Wasteland, so hopefully our opponent isn't playing Wasteland. Was Gilded Goose in that pack? I know Goose is in one of these packs. I'd be interested to see what's in this pack. Because I think maybe this one's the Krasis pack. Yeah, because wasn't Arbor Elf... Oh, I can't forget. Wasn't Arbor Elf in... what was it in a pack with? A land, probably? I don't know. I know Gilded Goose, Preordain, and Krasis were in the same pack. Okay, I have no idea what pack it was. This does not tell me anything. Oh, we'll take Knight of the Reliquary. We're probably not playing it, but more likely that we're playing it than these other cards. This would have been... Green decks with Knight of the Reliquary actually feel really great, especially when you have, like, Guy's Cradle and stuff to get. This was the pack with Krasis in it, and it did not come back. So we'll probably just take Yavimaya Elder. It seems good with Dryad. Feels our Uro. I think it's better than Stormgate. We literally have one thing to copy, so I'm just going to take Elder. Here we'll take Siege Gang. No, I'll take Wasali. Again, we don't have Omnath, so we're not playing white. But I think it's more likely that we play white than like a double red spell. Unless it's like Glorybringer. I'd probably play Glorybringer because Glorybringer is great. One downside of Arbor Elf, which is kind of an upside, is that you just have to target a forest. It's not just like any land, and it doesn't just tap for green. So if we have Breeding Pool in play, we can actually get the taps for Island. But the downside is, like, if our hand is like Botanical Sanctum, Copperline Gorge, Arbor Elf actually doesn't tap for mana, which is a little unfortunate. All right. Sheldock is really good. Oko's amazing. This deck would. I don't think this is an upheaval deck. Monchess would be great, but we're not really playing black. That's not really what we're doing. There's good fixing. And there's opposition, and I love opposition. But I don't think anyone's gonna take opposition. I think it's more likely that Oko disappears. Oko's honestly one of the best cards in the cube. The downside is in the two colors, so you have to be playing, you know, at least one of them to splash it. So I think I'm just gonna take Oko. Finale would be great to get back to because that can help us get Roman up Excavator with all these fetches, all two of them. But Oko's really strong. I'm gonna put these in the sideboard for right now. So we have four. We do need more playables. This pack is interesting. We're not playing white, so and we don't really have big spells for Mirari's Wake. Lotus Cobra is great with all these fetches. But I'm also looking at Glenn. Glenn against certain decks is just 4 mana, I win the game. And then there's also Garrick we wouldn't mind having. So if we take Glenn, there's 2 green cards we can get back, and we wouldn't even mind a port, honestly. So I think I'm just gonna take Glenn. It's not necessarily a win con, but it is like against certain decks, it's just a guaranteed 2-for-1. They have to play around it. It like changes the way they sequence. It can be a huge problem for a lot of decks. I wouldn't mind like a more dual slash fetches too to go with Ren and 6. We didn't get Wasteland back, so Strip Mine would be good too. Ask and you shall receive. There is a Taiga here, which is probably what I'm going to take. I do like Jace. Maybe I'm supposed to take Jace and wheel Taiga, because there'll be 5 cards left in this pack. I like being able to cast my spells. I'm just going to take Taiga. That could be wrong. We do need like more playables, but being able to cast my spells is so sexy. Honestly, I know that we said we were in a Time Twister deck, but maybe we're a Wheel of Fortune deck. Oh, we supposed to take Ancient Grudge. Ancient Grudge is great. It's probably going to come back though, and I'd rather take like Devoted Druid Solemn Simulacrum. Devoted Druid is really nice. It's kind of like a Soul Ring occasionally, because you can get 2 mana, so you can play a 5-drop on turn 3. But it also doesn't fix, and we kind of have like early game plays. We're kind of missing like later game stuff, so I think I'm just gonna take Solemn. Hopefully get back Ancient Grudge or Devoted Druid. Here, I do really like Lumbering Falls, and I do like Wall of Roots, but we kind of just don't have any payoffs or way to win the game. And Elder Gargaroth, if they don't remove the spell, is a great way to win the game. I don't think we're playing Oath of Druids in this deck, weirdly enough. Yeah, this pack's pretty bad. We'll take Gush, but we're probably not playing it. A 5-mana draw 2 is pretty bad. We did get one of my favorite cards with Brazen Borrower. I think that's better than Dig Through Time, so I'm just gonna take Brazen Borrower. This card is nuts. We're not playing black for Leovold. That's pretty tragic. Leovold, great card, but we're not playing black, so I'm just gonna take Glorybringer. I think our mana is good enough to support it, actually. We can get it out pretty early. Double costed things that cost more mana are usually less restrictive, because like if you need double red on turn 2, or like say like double black for Hibditurok, you need swamps. You need black land. But if you have a 5 mana spell that's double, you need 2 out of your 5 lands to tap. Ooh, we got opposition back. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. See? No one respects opposition. You first pick the Oko, you get the opposition. Bada bing, bada boom. But double mana later on the mana curve is less restrictive because you'll have more lands in play, and you also will have like resolved like Solemn Simulacrum, or like you'll have a Sylvan Caryatid in play, or a Dryad. So usually when it comes to how restrictive like you need this specific type of mana, you need this specific type of mana, it matters less the more mana it costs, because it's like proportionally to the cost of the card. You'll have it's less, and you'll have more time to dig and find lands. And also like if you play Glorybringer on turn 6, it's still really impactful, right? But like if you play him to Turok on like turn 4, it's gonna be way worse. And the cards are balanced that way. Like early game spells are not gonna be as impactful like 2 turns later as Glorybringer will be 2 turns later. So you didn't get back either of the green cards. So I'll just take Rich Import. It's fine. We didn't get any more fetches, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. I don't think we're a Palinchron deck. We're also not really taking Bayou. I guess, I don't think I'm playing Magda. How many? 22? I need like one more playable. I don't think it's Magda. Magda's great with opposition though. You know what? We'll take Magda. Eureka's really bad. We can't play Kaya. Eureka's like usually not great, but it's also not great in a deck where we're gonna pay 4 mana and put a 5 mana play into play. Like that's not why you play Eureka in your deck. If you do. We'll take Lumbering Falls, better mana. We'll take Shallow Grave, I guess. This deck looks interesting. Would be better if we had like Strip Mine in it. We also didn't get Finale back, so someone else is in green. Taking all our good green cards, but that's okay. We're not really playing like a big green deck. We're playing like a interactive, steal stuff, counter, bounce. Play big stuff fast. Lingering Soul is going to go straight to the sideboard. Our mana is looking, it's probably the best mana I've ever had. Especially, I mean, on this channel, obviously, but also there's not really stiff competition because our decks have had some challenging mana. We could probably add one more card because we have like 3 Dorks, Magda's mana, 7 Caryatida's mana, Give My Elders kind of mana. So I think we're going to play 16 lands. Out of these cards, Gush is card draw, but it's also like 5 mana to draw 2 cards, which is like not what I want to be. But I guess it is Instant Speed, which is cool. The other option is like Avalanche Riders. Just like attacking one of their lands might be good. Should have like Acidic Slime. Gargaroth. I'll play Avalanche Riders. I'll see if I change my mind. I'll add some basic lands. This deck construction is pretty easy because we took a lot of lands, so we don't have a lot of like other cards to fight over. We need at least one of each. Yeah, we have one of each, which is important for Solemn. All right, I'm going to take a snippet of the deck, and then I will see you guys in round 1. All right, here we are in round 1. We'll tell our opponents to have fun. We did not win the die roll, which is okay. Can't win them all. We will keep this hand. We have 2 lands. We can grab Breeding Pool, and then our Arbor Elf can give us blue, which is really nice. Our opponent's playing down to 5, which, you know, I want everyone to play fair, but I also don't mind our opponent having way less cards in hand than us. It looks like they're playing white, which is okay with me. We do have to bolt ourselves, though, to place Arbor Elf if we want blue. Because issues, I think I want to play a tap land next turn. So that way I can keep up Brazen Borrower, and then that gets the tap land out of the way. But maybe I'm not doing that. I could always just play Uro next turn. Let's just grab a Breeding Pool. Hopefully they don't Wasteland us too. That would be unfortunate. Because then we couldn't grab another green source off Scalding Tarn. Yeah, maybe that's wrong. If they like Wasteland or Strip, we're just screwed. That is a-okay with us. I think we are going to play Ren and 6, actually. So we're going to fetch. Actually, I'll play Uro this turn, because we already have a land to play. So I don't super see a rush. Oh, we're just going to take Taiga. Give it for green. This lets us put our tap land into play now, which is awesome. And then we can just Ren and 6 get a land next turn. Perfect. We'll pass the turn. So next turn, we can Ren and 6 get a land, hold up Brazen Borrower. Get back Wooded Foothills, probably. Green, red, Ren and 6. 2+, getting back Wooded Foothills. We'll play Wooded Foothills. We're going to attack them for 1. Just leave up Brazen Borrower. We don't really need this extra mana. And we will pass the turn back to them. They do nothing, which is awesome. In their end step, we're going to fetch to thin our deck. Purple Forest. 2+, get back Wooded Foothills. Play Wooded Foothills, crack. I think I might just play Opposition. This plays around Mana Leak and Miscalc. This just plays around, this doesn't play around Mana Leak, but this plays around Daze and Miscalc. And then this still lets us hold up Brazen Borrower, which I like. I'm gonna go for the Opposition, it resolves. I don't think we're gonna tap down a land, I'd rather just Brazen Borrower their play. which we can do because our Ralph toss for blue. Our opponent's not really doing anything. See what they do. They have 5 mana in play. We haven't really pressured their life total, but we do have 5 cards in our hand, and we have Wrenn and 6 plus fetches, so we're doing just fine. See what we draw. We draw a land, which is not what we want, but that's okay. Plus Wrenn and 6, get back Wooded Foothills. I'm gonna play Wooded Foothills. I kind of... I think I'm just playing Ramanop Excavator. So lets us tap down their land and hold up Brazen Borrower, which I like. And you don't really want to counter a Ramanop Excavator. So we'll set a stop on their upkeep and their draw, so we can opposition them. I think we're supposed to ponder here. Yeah, I think we fetch and then ponder, actually. Because we have leftover mana. Grab a forest. Grab a ponder. This is actually really good. I think we want Oko first. Well, maybe we just want Gargadon first. I think I want Gargadon first. Or Freyalise, huh? Freyalise gives us a creature immediately, but so does Gargaroth. I think we're going to do it like that. Yeah. We would not like to shuffle. These are great draws. So that's important not to fetch next turn. We'll just add a land and then play land out of our hand. See what this is. Archangel's fine. We are going to opposition down their island with our Ramanop Excavator, and then when they go into combat, we'll probably tap down Archangel. To keep our Wrenn and 6 alive. Kind of prevents them from playing X1s, which I like. If this isn't Fractured Identity, that would actually be pretty good. You take away our opposition. Teferi's pretty annoying. You're going to tap down like that. I'm assuming they tuck our opposition, which honestly is fine, because we get to bounce Teferi. Honestly, we might not even bounce Teferi, because we can just kill it. Bouncing Avacyn seems silly, though. I'm not sure what they do. They might just draw, honestly. It's either that or tuck opposition. But we have some great draws coming up, so I'm not super concerned. Okay, they are going to draw, which makes sense. If they minus, then we just get to kill it with Wrenn and 6. So before they get any mana, we're going to try to Petty Theft back to Fairy, which resolves. Okay, we should just be good now. Because now we just get a ton of creatures in play. We'll draw for a turn. We don't have enough cards to escape Uro yet, which is a-okay. You're going to plus Wrenn and 6 to get back Scalding Tarn. We're going to play the land from our hand because we don't want to fetch. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Freyalise. Plus Freyalise, get another creature for opposition. Can play Brazen Borrower from our hand. I think this turn we just attack all of their mana. I don't think we care about either of our planeswalkers taking 4. I don't. If I tap down 2 and they play a land, then they get to play their Planeswalker, which I don't want. So I'm just going to tap down their lands. Using... Use the Elf Druid first. We'll tap down this one with Ramanov Excavator. And then we'll tap down this one with Brazen Borrower. And say, do your worst. Balance would be pretty good against us, although we do have Planeswalkers in play, so honestly it's fine. Okay, they're also playing green. Interesting. Assuming they attack, yeah. Probably gonna attack Freylease. Good guess, yeah. But Freylease is gonna live, so we're doing okay. What is this? Is this... Them killing our opposition actually makes this kind of bad. Gideon's fine. We do have to kill that eventually, but we have some time. Brennan 6 can actually minus just as fast as Gideon can plus, so... Just gonna get a ton of creatures into play here. We will draw for turn. We're gonna play Freylease. Might just plus Oko on Archangel. 1, 2. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Gargaroth. That would leave us 3 mana for Oko. The Gargaroth. We will ping. Getting Blackblade. We didn't play land yet. So now we can fetch because we drew the last card that we know is on top. So I think we are going to fetch Death in our deck. We should have a fetchable land yet. Okay, yeah. Probably should have checked just in case, but you know. Okay, yeah, and they concede. Opposition's a really fun card. The way that we could have lost there is if they just had like what's it called? If they had like Reclamation Sage to kill opposition, that actually would have been like not a great position for us, but luckily they didn't. So that was cool. We don't really have a sideboard, so I'm just gonna run it back. I'm not sure what our opponent is doing. I know they definitely got land screwed, I think, but they didn't do anything until turn 5, which just let us set up. Avalanche Riders is going to be nice because we can attack their mana. Their mana doesn't look super strong. So hopefully it's something we can abuse. Same thing with Acidic Slime. I'm not sure if Glenn's going to be good against them or not. We did see Teferi, but I'm not sure. I've literally, like, they played 3 cards. I don't know what they're doing, like what their deck is, so we'll find out. This hand's good. We have Elves, we have Ponder. It's fine. We're going to take the upkeep stops out because we don't have opposition in play yet. Okay, they have a fetch, so it looks like their mana's going to be better this game. Okay, they just fetch an island. We're going to play Forest Llanowar Elves. Actually, let's grab Taiga because we might get Magda. They do nothing. I'm just going to play Yavimaya Elder. Yeah, let's just do that. For Elder, if they want to miscalculate, that's fine. They do nothing, which I like. We are 1 mana short of our 5 mana plays, so we can't do them yet. But we can attack them for 2. They're like thinking about whether or not they want to take it. Okay, they do decide to take it. I think I'm gonna breeding pool for no. Should I sack Elder first? I don't see need to sacrifice Elder yet. Just draw us a card. But I also don't hate just pondering and seeing what we get. Because that, I mean, ponder shuffles. So actually, let's do this. Because then we don't have to shock, which I like. I would like to use its ability. We're gonna get Island Forest. Then we get to draw a card. Opponent is thinking. All right. I'm just gonna play out Island and Ponder. This does mean we have to discard, but that's fine. You can just discard Copperland. Let's put Avalanche Riders on top. We can go like Avalanche Riders into Rishon Import. That seems pretty good. But not like to shuffle. We'll discard our Copperline Gorge. It's not really doing anything for us. Because if they don't play anything here and then I get to Avalanche Riders them, that seems pretty good. They're also, their mana base seems pretty fragile. Hero of Bladehold is pretty good, but we can Gargaroth, which is also pretty good. Hopefully they just don't have to Fairy Tuck. That would be pretty bad. But I'm just going to play out Gargaroth. If they don't have a way to kill Gargaroth, we're just going to wreck them. Unfortunately, Glorybringer doesn't kill Hero of Bladehold. It has 4 toughness. Otherwise, I would have just Glorybringer. Next turn, we can Rishon Import and Avalanche Riders. They do have Path, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We are going to look. This does get rid of our DAC, but I do like ramping here. We're going to take Island, I think. So we're actually in a little bit of danger here. They do deal a pretty good amount of damage with Hero of Bladehold. Gargaroth was kind of our way to deal with it, so maybe I was supposed to play Glorybringer, because then I could take them off white with Avalanche Riders and Rishon Import. I don't know. Let's see what they play. Jace is fine. Okay, we can really attack their mana this turn. But I think I need Solemn, or I need, this gives other creatures, right? So I think I need to play, oh, that's unfortunate. I should have grabbed a red source, because I kind of, or I could just play Acidic Slime. Yeah. I can Acidic Slime one of their lands, and then Acidic Slime can block Hero of Bladehold. I think that's what I'm doing. Hopefully they don't have another path. So maybe I'm supposed to, I could kill both their blue sources, but I think they're mostly playing white. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to play Rishon Import. I'm going to Acidic Slime one of their white sources, tap down the other white source. Seems like they're mostly playing white. Stopping our opponent's upkeep. So they can't actually hit us for a bunch of damage. They can hit us for 8 damage this turn if they want. With Hero of Bladehold. Should be a little less than ideal, but that's okay. Get to kill another one of their lands next turn, hopefully. They're going to be left with 4 soldiers in play, though, and we're going to be at 4, so should be an interesting game. They have no white mana because we are bullies. They do have a play, which is unfortunate. They might just get us. Phyrexian Metamorph on a Acidic Slime killing Rishon Import. That seems pretty good. Oh, a Hero of Bladehold? That's even better. Yeah, they probably got us. We don't have a Wrath in our deck. Gargaroth is like our one creature that's bigger. So they probably got us, but that's okay. Yeah, Hero of Bladehold probably makes more sense, because we're probably not playing Wraths in our deck. Our opponent probably knows that. We will play Tapland and pass. We don't want to give them any more information about our deck. Maybe sacking Yavimaya. Yeah, I think sacking Yavimaya Elder there was silly. There's really no reason to do that. Make them think we've... If we had Cryptic, actually, that would have done it. Tap bounce. Then Hero of Bladehold couldn't copy anything. Yeah, okay. We had 1 draw, so it was worth taking another turn, but did not get it. We would have had to shock ourselves though, which would have been a little unfortunate, but opponent got there with the Hero of Bladehold and the path. They did nothing until turn 4 when they heroed, and then they got us. So it is what it is. You're just gonna have 6 on them kill us. Hero of Bladehold is a pretty fast clock. Don't actually have a ton of removal. So that card seems pretty good against us. If we had opposition too, we could have figured it out, but they got us. So we're going to game 3. We don't really have a sideboard. Pyroclasm looks like it would have been okay there, but also like we're playing like elves and stuff, so I don't think we're bringing Pyroclasm. So again, we don't really have a sideboard, so I'll just run it back. Hopefully they don't have path plus a really fast clock. I think if we kept Yavimaya Elder in play there, we already had lands, so there wasn't really a reason to sack it. We also didn't really have any plays, so but having in that specific instance, having a 2 in a play would have helped deal with their tokens, with their Hero of Blade hold. Would have been beneficial. We would like to play first. This hand is garbage. We're gonna mulligan. This hand is much, much, much better. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put Island back because we do have what we need to cast Sylvan Caryatid. We'll play Island, play around Wasteland. And then we can turn 3 Glen, which seems pretty good. We have nothing for their upkeep. We're going to take off the upkeep stop again. They have Sanctum. We're about to play Sanctum, so. Our opponent is thinking. We will play Sanctum and play out Caryatid. Makes it... The reason why I put the island back is because it's really hard to kill Caryatid, so it's a pretty reliable way of getting our 3rd blue source for Cryptic. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I'd Brazen Borrower here. Hopefully it's not Emrakul. Anything else we can Brazen Borrower, and we'll be fine. If it's Emrakul, they got us. Hopefully it's just like Ulamog. Or like Kozilek would be fine. Is it actually Emrakul? If it's Emrakul, they got us. All right, they have Emrakul. We're not going to concede because it's the 3rd game. Emrakul has protection from colored spells, I believe. Yeah, so they got us. Literally nothing we could do about it. I think our hand was a fine keep. The issue with Channel Emrakul is it's not like Emrakul disappears after a turn. They just get to keep an Emrakul in play. So we need like a 1-mana way to kill Emrakul, which is not in our deck. So it's unfortunate. If we got one more turn, we could have like maybe done something about it. But Channel Emrakul is really hard to beat. It's a shame that we lost, what was it, last game when they didn't do anything for 4 turns. Because if we had like Glen, we could have stopped this. But Channel Emrakul is pretty good. We don't have days, so looks like they got us. I'll see you guys in round 2. All right, here we are in round 2. We'll tell our opponents to have fun. We are on the draw, which means we get an extra card. This hand is great. We have all of our colors. We have elves. We do need action, though. This is the one thing we're missing. Opponent plays Elves of Deep Shadow, which is kind of the worst elf. So we're fine with that. We'll play Copperline Gorge, play our Llanowar Elves, and pass the turn. So Solemn costs 4, so next turn we'll probably go tap land plus an elf. They have Trop, so they are playing blue. Courser is pretty good. We have Yavimaya Elder on top, which is a reshuffle. We drew another land, which is not what we wanted, but that's okay. Play Elvish Mystic, we're going to play Lumbering Falls, and we're going to pass the turn. Can't attack into Courser. So. I do have a land on top for Courser. The issue with our deck is that we don't really have any late game payoffs for having a ton of mana. So if they just have like Primetime in their deck, we're kind of in danger unless we get like Gargaroth or what's it called? Arc Dragon. Here we're just a land is not what we wanted. We wanted things to do with our lands, so we are gonna Solemn and play a tap land. We're gonna grab an island if we can, because that lets us Cryptic next turn. Yeah, we still have a yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Because we can also grab Breeding Pool off of Scalding Tarn, so that's still alive. Grab the island, we'll play Fumarole, and then we'll pass the turn. We have another land on top for Corsair, so our opponent is gaining all the life, getting all the cards. Opposition. Okay, so they're oppositioning us. The opposition mirror. That's fun. We're gonna float blue. Pass priority to you. You're gonna go to our draw step. Do ponder, which I like. That makes sense. I don't think we're trying to animate Lumbering Falls this turn. That would use all of our mana. Actually, maybe we are, because we're probably just gonna ponder and then do nothing. Although they can just tap it down again with Elves of True Shadow. Yeah, we'll just let them tap it down. Probably tap down our blue source, but we have an island in hand, so that's fine. I think we're gonna fetch because we don't want to get screwed out of our colors. We don't want to like draw breeding pool and then not have anything to fetch. So we'll do that. Then we're gonna ponder. Avalanche Riders, Magda. We are gonna shuffle. I don't super like these cards. We draw a Rich Import, which is good. We will attack them for 4. Because we have a Heath on top. They're just living their fantasy with this Courser right now. We do know that they have a fairly large amount of lands in their hand. They have a Worm Coil, which is pretty good. Cast that next turn. Thragtusk is really good. Yeah, we're probably just going to lose this game. They actually have like creatures and stuff, and we don't. We have 9 lands plus 2 land creatures. Like Krasis would be sick in our deck. Maybe I should have prioritized taking Krasis. I don't know. That's fine. We'll float blue. We'll float blue as well. Am I animating Fumarole? They could just tap it down with opposition. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this game. Maybe our deck's another land. I have so many. I don't need any more, please. I have so many lands. This is absurd. We've drawn just straight lands. We even pondered away a land creature, and then like something that's not amazing. We just have way more lands than we know what to do with. So we'll keep back Solemn so we can draw a card. I mean, I guess the benefit of them just oppositioning us, like we really can't do anything, so them oppositioning us is like fine. Can't really do anything, so. But they're playing lands off the top every single turn off of Corsair, so they're getting like a ton of value. They're making their land drops every turn, and they get to play stuff. Like this is just Worm Coil. Like I don't know how we beat this. We don't know about people or anything, so we will chump with Solemn. We need to draw stuff to do. But even if we do, they're just gonna tap it down. So honestly, Dak would be a great draw here. Steal a Worm Coil. That'd be brutal. That's a fine draw too. Not as good as Dak though. We will tap for red. We'll go to the next phase. So we actually can't cast Glorybringer because they're tapping down all of our red. It's pretty annoying. Lumbering Falls would cost 2 to animate. I think that's fine. Okay, that's okay as well. It could be better, but I think that's okay. You can shrink down their Worm Coil, which I like. I'll play Taiga. Actually, do we have another mountain to get? Let me check the snippet. We have 2 mountains in our deck, and we have 1 of them in our hand, so we should be able to fetch for a red source. Which thins our deck. Then we're going to play Oko. But as far as what we're doing with Oko, I'm not 100% sure. I think if I put... We're just going to... Power 3 or less. So we could plus, they have to tap down Elvish Mystic, Elvish Mystic. Otherwise, we're just going to chump and protect it. Or we could just plus on Worm Coil. That makes it a 3/3. I I think one of the few ways that we win is that we draw Dak and steal Wormcoil. So I don't think I'm plussing on Wormcoil. I might just plus on Thrag. That still makes it so they tap down 2. If I plus on Wormcoil, they have to tap down 2 and attack with like multiple of their creatures. This might be wrong. I'm just gonna plus on Wormcoil and then pass. We're not gonna bother tapping on their mana. We want our blockers here. Because now they kind of need to opposition down our creatures if they want to kill our Oko, which they probably do. They do still have 5 cards in hand though, and they have Yavimaya Elder to draw. Like they're definitely favored. We'll see if they can bring it home. They do just have a 1/1, which is great with opposition. They tap down both of our blockers. And they have to attack with 2 creatures to kill Oko. Or no, they just have to attack with Thrag. So they can tap down all of our red sources. So if they didn't have a creature, that would work better. Still buys us another turn, which I like. We are going to float red. He takes off blue too. Probably not going to. Okay, they let us draw, which I like. They are still taking us off red, which is pretty annoying. And they're going to tap our other red source, which makes sense. You're going to play Taiga plus Wallow Blossoms. See what we draw. Elder Gargaroth, which we actually do have enough mana to cast, so I am going to do that. That is something that they need to tap down, because it's whenever it blocks or attacks. So that was actually a great draw. They do just keep hitting lands off Corsair. I don't think they've missed once, and they've only reshuffled once. Karn is looking pretty good for them. And they can cast it this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 1 mana short. So if they have a land in hand off Uro, they can cast it. Yeah. So they're actually going to be fine. They can just minus exile or Gargaroth. So this game's looking sus still. They do have to tap both of their elves though. And we can snipe it with Glorybringer. Oh, they choose to make us exile a card from their hand? Okay. Well, actually probably makes sense. They still have to tap down Gargaroth. Oh, they have Deranged Sharpen on top. Their deck is very all in on opposition, which makes sense. They let us draw. Oh, interesting. So we're definitely going to play Glorybringer for 5 for Glorybringer. We can go land, animate either of our boys. Which one is better? Probably Wandering Fumarole. Yeah. Animate blue, green, like that. We're going to enter combat. They're going to tap some stuff down. We'll see what they tap. Tap down Glorybringer, that makes sense. They're going to probably tap down Gargaroth. Yeah, all of our attacks are bad. Yeah, this game's definitely over, but we're doing what we can. Not sure why they tapped down like that. Okay. Just to be funny. Alright, then we'll pass turn. Ugh. So this is what it feels like to be on the receiving end of opposition. If they didn't have opposition in their hand, I think we would have won this game the way we drew, but just ripping straight lands over and over again was not what we wanted. Those first few turns. Even like Run and 6 is good against their deck. We can just like snipe their elves. Yeah, this game should be over. They do have one good artifact to steal with Wormcoil Engine, but other than that, not a lot of great deck targets. We see Recurring Nightmare, which is good to know about. We'll go down. Just gonna tap down everything, I assume. We're going to enter combat. Makes sense. Probably just pass the turn. I don't feel like showing them another card in our deck. Maybe they show us another one in theirs. Oh, we do get to see another one because of course here, so. They should probably tap down all of our lands. Yeah. So if they plus Karn, we're gonna just concede. But we do get to see one more card in their deck because of course you're revealing the top card. Okay, they do have Geist Cradle in their deck. And Devoted Druid because they play the land off the top. Okay, so we know a little bit more about their deck, and then we'll concede. So it seems like, as much as it seems counterintuitive, I think I am gonna play Pyroclasm here. It looks pretty good against their deck. It does hurt our deck a little bit, but I think it hurts their deck way more. I think I'm going to take out Avalanche Riders. I don't think that does anything against them. Although maybe if we get it out early. It does fill our graveyard. This I think Mogda's just better. Mogda's actually, it doesn't trigger when it attacks. It triggers when it's tapped. So if they tap it down with opposition, we still get our treasure token, which is going to be good against their opposition. This hand's pretty bad, but we'll keep it. We do have turn 2 Mogda, which is good against their deck, as I just exclaimed. And we do have red to cast it, so we are on the play, which is good. Stop here. Play our tap land and pass the turn. Play our turn 2 Magda. They don't have a turn 1 elf, which I like. Get to play Magda. Which means we can play Glenn next turn, which is probably what we'll do. We didn't see a lot of like creature removal. And Glenn makes it so if they don't have a dork this turn, they can't cast it. Okay, they might be casting opposition next turn. Should be a little annoying, but that's okay. Get a treasure token. Assuming they're not going to block. Makes sense. We're going to play Forest and then play Glenn. So hopefully they don't have it this turn, because then they can never play it because we have Glenn. We're going to leave up a blue at all times. All right, looks like they don't have it, which is perfect. They do have a blue source now. They have Leovold on top, which is pretty good. Can't really attack with Mogda anymore, which is unfortunate. You're going to attack with Glenn. Probably just play Wall of Blossom's tap land. Yeah, that's fine. Our hand kind of doesn't do anything. Maybe I should have drafted more like just like 5-mana beaters. Because we just don't have a clock on them. I'm surprised they actually shuffled away Leovold. They are 1 mana away from casting Avenger. They can't play opposition, which is cool. Except Glenn. See if that's what they're trying to do. Can't stop it. Deck is probably just a better version of our deck. It's a shame. Our fixing's so great, but I think we just like don't have a way to win the game in retrospect. Can bounce a squirrel. That seems pretty good. So we're definitely just attacking with Glenn, so we could do that first. And I don't think we're playing Llanowar Elves. I think I'm playing Island to bounce something. Maybe a Devoted Druid. We'll see if they pay for Deranged Hermit first, but we're going to probably want a Petty Theft plus Brazen Borrower. If they pay the Echo, then I don't need to bounce Devoted Druid. If they don't pay the Echo, I'm going to bounce Devoted Druid. Okay, they are paying the Echo. See what they do. They're just going to attack with the squirrels. So we are going to Brazen Borrower a token, probably. I'm bouncing Deranged Hermit. That drastically reduces the damage we're taking. That lets us attack with Magda. Actually, let's race. Let's get into it. I don't think we're winning the late game, so... Oh, wait. Oh, man. I thought I undid the play. I wanted to get rid of Deranged Hermit, but that's okay. And then we're going to block. Take 6 is fine. Well, they're probably not going to block with Deranged Hermit, so this might end up being okay. Probably can't race them, though, because of Uro on top. I don't know. We'll find out. Land is not what we wanted. Probably just going to animate Fumarole, so I need another red source. I'm going to go red, blue, colorless, colorless, animate, swing out. We get a treasure, so we are going to be able to double Glen if we need to. Block there, which makes sense. Hit them for a little extra. So they're actually in danger. I don't see a reason to play elves. I'd rather just keep up double Glen in case something happens. They might be able to bring this back, but they also can't play non-creatures, so... They need, like, Avenger of Zendikar into land or something. I think we might be okay. Okay, they are going for something. Wormcoil is something. That was like one of the few cards they could play that gains them. I guess they could play Thragtusk too. That would have been bad. Not ideal. We do get to Ponder to maybe look for Dak. That would be great. Do I want Glorybringer? Glorybringer just makes us win, right? 4, 5, 7, yes. We want Glorybringer on top and then we just win. I would not like to shuffle. We're going to play around whatever. 4, 5 for Glorybringer, and that's lethal. All right, we won one of the games. Look at the sideboard. We don't really have a sideboard. I think we're just going to keep it how it is. Maybe I'm supposed to be playing less lands. Maybe I'm only supposed to be playing like 15 because I just have so much. Honestly, let's try it. Let's cut. Let's bring in... Honestly, let's play 5-mana Divination and cut a forest. Run it like that, see how it is. We have no green source, but if we draw a green source, this hand's fine. We're just gonna mulligan, we can do better. This hand's great. We have Pyroclasm. We're going to put one of our fetches. No, let's put Forest on the bottom. We didn't see any wastelands or anything from them, so. All right, that is fine. Gonna play Scalding Turn and pass. They play Devoted Druid, I might just Pyroclasm. Survival, interesting. Not what I expected. Going to grab Breeding Pool because I don't feel like paying life. I wasn't letting it get bigger. Not like to pay 2 life. They get Survival. I can also just port them. That seems fine. Let's just port them here. What do you want to do that? Let's take them off green. They do float it. Oh, wait, that was probably wrong because now that just forces them to survival. Yeah, that was silly. I forgot you can survival at instant speed. I should hit their island because they can just float them in response and then just survival anyways. So I should hit the island. Because that actually reduces their mana by 1. Although this does, I don't know, this might work out because if they just have like an elf in hand, like they need another green source in order to do what they want. Looks like they got it. Just fine. Here we're probably just gonna play our Dryad. Yeah, because that lets us play Llanowar Elves too. But then I'm playing into my own Pyroclasm. So maybe I'm just supposed to Pyroclasm plus Llanowar Elves. I think that's better. Just kill their Devoted Druid. It really limits their mana. And then if they like just play opposition, we can actually kill it with Acidic Slime. So hopefully that's what they do. They just tap out for opposition. They're fetching. Please be opposition. It's like Leovold. That's really bad. We can't do anything about it. That is fine. Here, we're going to play Dryad. And then, what's it called? And then just port them. So we're going to play green colorless for Dryad. They are extra land, and then during their upkeep, we're going to port them. I don't see a reason to attack for 1. Although getting creatures off their board, this will let them draw less cards. I think I am going to attack for 1, actually. We already have 5 lands to cast all of our stuff, so it's whatever. This gets a creature out of play. It's definitely a favorable block for them, but I don't see a reason to leave Yavimaya Elder in play. What 2 lands did they get? They got 2 forests, so I don't think they're concerned about having black mana. So I think I'm just going to touch on the swamp anyways, though. See what they do. Hopefully they tap out for opposition. That would be perfect. So we have acidic slime. They're searching for a creature. They get Uro. That makes sense because their graveyard is stock full. They actually are 1 short from escaping it. Oh no, they've... That was a Dew Shadow. All right. They can escape it next turn. Yeah, especially with that fetch. Okay, so we're kind of in danger. We could kill actually one of their blue sources and then they can't escape it. Which I like. I think that's our play. It's a shame we don't have another land because then we could port them as well. That's okay. I think playing Yavimaya is probably better. Playing Yavimaya plus port makes more sense. I tapped weird. But I tapped that one for green. There we go. Because this costs 2, right? Yeah, so we can sack this now and we get to play both the lands off of Dryad and we still get to port them. Will yield. Would like to use its ability. We're gonna grab... We already used both our fetches, right? So it doesn't super matter. We'll just grab 1 of each. Gush is awesome. We're gonna play land, and then port them during their upkeep. Thought we get 2 land drops. I guess we already put a land, might be. We are going to attack. And during their upkeep, we're going to port down their blue source because we don't want them to escape Uro. If we can prevent it, which we might not be able to, but that's okay. Tap down, drop. So they didn't survival in response, which is interesting. I guess they like their hand. Wormcoil Engine's pretty good. I think we're going to Gush here. It's free. We're just going to float double blue and then cast Gush. We kind of drew a bunch of nothing. We do get to play our 2 lands back out again, though, which is cool. I think I kind of have to just kill their blue source. I can't really survive in Uro. This, like, super takes them off Uro. Hopefully forever. The other options, we could just Solemn. No, I really don't want them top decking blue source and being able to cast Uro. That would be really bad. And then we're just going to play Sylvan Caryatid. Port down their blue source again. See what they do. They still have survival in play, so they can turn any creature into any creature, which is not really where we want to be. But we'll see what we can do. They are survivaling away an elf, which makes sense. It's not very good on this board. And they're never going to get to play opposition because we're destroying their blue sources. They get Courser, that makes sense. They're probably looking for lands to do what they need to do. They do have another blue source, which is unfortunate. We are going to block with Acidic Slime. I don't think taking 6 really makes any sense. Dryad can block the lifelink one. Get Ren in 6. We are probably playing. We only have one more fetchable land, right? We have a mountain left. So Solemn actually doesn't do anything. Huh. Interesting. So we need our 2 mana. Oh wait, it does tap because of Dryad. So we're good. Dryad will make it tap for mana. So let's add red, green, play Ren in 6. Did I not tap for red? I tap for double green. We're gonna plus get back Scalding Tarn. Play Scalding Tarn, play Forest. I'm going to play Forest for Arbor Elf. We're going to play out Solemn. Just leaves us enough mana to port, and we should have 1 basic left. Yeah, we have our mountain left. Okay, so our deck has like no lands in it anymore. We have a ton of mana. This would be, again, a great krasis here, but we don't have krasis in our deck. We probably should. I forget what we took over it, but maybe this is a lesson in taking krasis, because like we don't have that many great payoffs in our deck. I am gonna tap down Island over Lumbering Falls, I think. So you could just give it hexproof. I don't know. It seems sketch. Like we just don't have any payoffs for this insane amount of mana we have. Like we can like cryptic command them. Like okay, it's not that great of a payoff. So they do have a blue source that we can't port next turn. So they are gonna escape Ura next turn. They also have enough for Karn. Yeah, this game's probably over. Can eat our Solemn. They eat our port. Yeah, we're just in danger here. See what we draw. Cryptic Command's actually pretty good. Cryptic Command's actually exactly what we needed. They should plus Karn before trying to resolve their spell, or they might mess up and not do that. I'm just gonna plus, because Cryptic Command is actually a reason to. Oh yeah, we can plus leave this in our hand, and then they can't plus away our counter spell. So we're just gonna pass like this. This also says Cryptic Command their Uro and bounce Karn back to their hand, maybe, or like bounce one of their worm tokens or something. Let's just do something. Or just draw, counter draw. That resolves. We will exile Wooded Foothills. Okay. Having Cryptic Command in our graveyard makes Ren in 6 like a potential threat too if we can actually ultimate it. So assuming this is Escape Uro. So we can either counter bounce or counter draw. If we have 2/4, 2/4, 5, 6. So we actually can't kill Karn if we just bounce tap. Or if we counter tap. The question is, do I want to draw an extra card or do I want to bounce Karn? What can we draw? We could draw, we already played Acidic Slime. We could draw Avalanche Riders, that lets us kill Karn. We can draw Glorybringer, lets us kill. I think I want to draw. I'm going to counter draw. Counter target spell, draw a card. Brazen Bar is awesome. That lets us kill Karn. Just perfect. See if they attack. You're going to kill. Brazen Bar is actually awesome because now we get to kill one of their worms, probably the Death Touch one. Cast Petty Theft on the Death Touch one, and we get to flash it in, and this lets us kill Karn. Maybe I did it wrong. I don't know. This needs to be blue. Just doesn't let us kill Karn because he can just block. I forgot. So maybe tap was the play. Lava Blossoms is a redraw, which I like. We are going to draw another card. Glorybringer? Uro's great. Uro is a redraw. Will not put it into play. Okay, we might actually be okay now. I'm gonna put this under. We actually get to plus. We actually get to kill Karn. And we get to kill their worm token. So you might actually be okay. That was a. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Fuck. Ugh. I accidentally misclicked. We can't just plus Ren, get it back, and play it. That was kind of silly. I didn't mean to do that. That is a-okay. For untap Taiga. Tap Taiga for Glorybringer. They do get to symbiosis us here, so hopefully they don't get like anything crazy. We're gonna attack and exert. We're gonna attack Karn. Oh, I didn't get my trigger. Did I not exert? Honestly, I don't super need to exert, but I would have preferred to exert. Actually, maybe I don't prefer to exert because I already have Wall of Blossoms to block the worm, so they can't escape Uro here if they want. They can also symbiosis guaranteed get Leovold, but we have flying threats in play. So you might actually be okay. What is this? This is symbiosis. Okay, we'll see what they get. Can't stop it. Hopefully it's not too good. We are like we plus Ren and 6 up to 7 next turn, so the following turn is when we can get the emblem. So we can start retracing like Pyroclasm, whatever. So you can actually get Scalding Tarn back in our hand this turn, which is probably what we're gonna do. We have a pretty big clock in play against them. We get to flashback Uro, which I like. That's pretty sexy. We're probably not going to target their things because you don't want them to draw off Leovold. So let's attack first with just our flyers. You're just going to attack. Go to our second main. I think I'm escaping Uro. Let's escape Uro. It's going to be blue, blue, green, green. We don't want to exile any of our instants and sorceries if possible, so we're going to exile, exile, exile. I think flashing back, so we do have to exile everything except one. So I think that Cryptic Command is going to be the best thing to keep retracing back over and over again. So we can exile everything else. Get back Uro. That lets us draw a card. We don't get to draw because of Leovold, but that's fine. We want this back in our hand, so we are going to pay 1 life, and then we're not going to be able to get anything. Get back Scalding Tarn. And then we get to Freylease. Because doing this lets us, even if we don't draw land, we can retrace Cryptic Command next turn, which I like. Oh, it should just let us win, actually. We get to do a lot of damage now. We're going to untap this land. Tap it for green. This gives us like infinite chump blockers. Yeah, I kind of like where we're at now. That was a very good set of draws. We don't want to target them because we don't want them to draw. We honestly, depending on what they draw, we might just be able to what's it called? We might just be able to plus Ren and 6, wait 1 more turn. They have opposition on top, so I don't actually like that. They have a card draw spell that's pretty bad. That's fine. We still have flying threats in play, so we get to counter it. So they have a card draw that's pretty bad. They can flashback Uro, but they don't have enough mana to opposition in addition to flashing back Uro. And we just get to like, hopefully we just draw like land. We get to like just counter, tap down their whole board every turn with lands. off of Ren and 6. We only get to draw one card per turn though, unfortunately. Ooh, Avenger's pretty good. Avenger makes it a little tricky because I guess we could just bounce tap is the same as countering. Maybe it's actually fine. It's actually an interesting spot to be in. See what we draw. Draw Excavator. Which is not what we want. We can Cryptic Command their board down this turn. Is that lethal? We deal 10, 11. 11 plus 3 is 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. That is not lethal. So we probably can't do that. Can attack them for 7 in the air. Balance opposition, tap down their creatures. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. So I think we just plus Freyalise. We could also minus, but I don't think that does anything. It kills one of their creatures, I guess. So kills Sylvan Library. I'm just gonna plus Freyalise, I think. Let's get more creatures in play. We do attack them for 7 mana, 7 damage in the air. Then we are going to minus Ren and 6. I'm going to cast Promenade Excavator, and then we have Cryptic Command. So you have to choose if they want to play Echo or not. I'm assuming they're not going to. The issue is they kind of have 2 threats in play by having the possibility of casting opposition and what's it called? And their big boy. We also don't super want them to attack because they're going to gain life. So they might just enter combat first. Okay, I don't want to agree with this play. That's fine. There's no way we actually want to counter Avenger. Hopefully they just play opposition before combat and then we just win. Okay, I think they sequence this really bad. They should have like attacked first or something. We're gonna Cryptic Command that. Counter target spell, tap all creatures your opponent controls. We're gonna counter that. We're gonna pay triple blue. Discard a land. And that should be game. They do get to draw a card off Leovold. Actually, is it spells or just permanents? Oh, all right, we got there. That game was absolutely insane. We hit a really good sequence there. Top decking Cryptic into Brazen Borrower into Ponder, which let us grab Glorybringer to kill the Karn. Otherwise, the game would have been over. I think our opponent's sequence there a little bit weird. They just give us the win, but we still might have been favored. I'm curious what we would have drawn. We would have drawn a land, so we would have gotten another Cryptic, which is what we wanted. So that game was really intense. I'll see you guys in round 3. All right, here we are in round 3. We'll tell our opponents to have fun. We don't have an elf, but we do have double fetch plus Ren and 6. So I am going to keep. We also have Dak, which we haven't gotten to play yet. It's really good if they're playing artifacts or signets, which is very likely in Vintage Cube. Jorga Tree Speaker is kind of annoying because we can't kill it with Red and 6. So we're just gonna play our Wood of Foothills and pass. It's unfortunate. If we went first, we could just kill it with Ren and 6, and then that would be the game. So it seems like we lost the die roll on the important die roll game. Hopefully they just play, like, I don't know, an elf. That would be ideal. Or signet. Okay, that's awesome. That's something we can Ren and 6. So we're going to fetch. We're going to grab Breeding Pool because it enters tapped. We would not like to pay life. And then we'll take our turn. We're going to crack Scalding Tarn for Taiga. Going to play red. I tapped that wrong. Red, green for Ren and 6. Kill their Cobra. They can't kill Tree Speaker. Or they can't kill us with Tree Speaker. So we will be able to plus Ren and 6, grab a land, which is awesome. Hopefully they just play like Signet or they play like Corsa Portal and we just get to take it with deck. That would be awesome. What is this? 5-drop? Hopefully nothing too scary. Harmonize is fine. We can't stop it anyway, so. I love Harmonize. It's really efficient. Paying 4 mana to draw 3 cards is pretty good. And it's in green, which usually has problems with card advantage. They usually have a ton of mana and not a lot of cards left in hand. It's good. We do get another turn out of it. I think I like playing Dak more than I like playing Ramanop Excavator because we already have Ren and 6. So I think I'm just going to plus grab Wooded Foothills, play Wooded Foothills. Actually, probably should be getting blue sources for Cryptic Command, but we'll do that next turn, I guess. And then we will be playing blue, red for Dak. We are going to draw 2 and discard 2. We're going to discard probably Ramanop and a land. We already have a Ramanop with Ren and 6, so just pass the turn back to them. We do have 2 islands in our deck, right? Yeah, we have 2 islands, so probably grab an island next turn. Then next turn we can Brazen Borrower their play plus Wall of Blossoms. All while looting away our lands that we don't super need. Courser's fine. They can't really play Crucible because we'll just take it if it does end up being a problem. So Dak Phaeton plus Ren and 6 actually makes once our fetch lands stop being able to fetch, it just turns into cards that we can loot away with Dak. It's actually a really nice combo. Let's see what they play. They do have a bunch of mana, so I'm not sure like what's in their hand. Assassin's Trophy is pretty good. We can't stop it. We will use Assassin's Trophy's effect. We'll grab an island. So let's play Glorybringer, which is probably just what I'm gonna do. Oh, we're gonna get back Wooded Foothills. Grab a red source, play Glorybringer. I don't super see a reason to Acidic Slime them when they could just Crucible of Worlds. That seems kind of silly. And this kills 2 of their mana, so this like really hurts their mana, and they can't kill Ren and 6 on their board either. If we kill Tree Speaker, attack and exert, which I did wrong last time, but it actually ended up working out, so we will kill their Soul Ring. They're drawing a Crucible World, which doesn't really do anything. They do draw a Strip Mine, so they do get to kill one of our lands, but we get to Acidic Slime away their Crucible next turn. So that is A-okay. They're playing a pod deck. Interesting. I'll say I might just Brazen Borrower back their thing. If they just like, if their turn is just like Strip Mine plus, what's it called? It seems pretty good. Strip Mine plus Crucible. We just get to like time walk them and have Wall of Blossoms in play, which seems pretty good. Because them killing our lands doesn't super matter because we have Ren and 6 in play. We can just get them back. Ren and 6 is pretty good against Strip Mine. Ren and 6 has been pretty good this game. Would have been better if we went first, but you know, we're still doing okay. You can also just Fray Elise and kill it. Assuming they attack Ren and 6, that makes sense. Let's see what they play. They play Excavator, which is basically the same thing. That's fine. We draw for turn. We have Magda. We'll probably just go tap land, Wall of Blossoms plus Brazen Borrower. I think makes the most sense. This does let them, yeah, that makes the most sense. We could also Acidic Slime, kill one of their lands. That makes it so that way if they want to play something that costs 3 mana, they have to use. But I don't think that's a good use for our mana. We could also just plus on Fray Elise. It's probably good too. I think I like Art Plate better. So we're going to play... Let's draw first, see what's going on. We'll draw a card. We'll plus to get back Taiga. Play our tap land, hold a Brazen Borrower. We might be supposed to brazen borrower them first. They didn't have a land. We'll stop. We'll set a stop here and we'll set a stop here. That'll inform our decision as to far as what we're doing. If they don't have if they have a land on top, that makes me want a Ramanov excavator or get rid of their courser. Okay. So they're gonna have a land to play regardless. So I don't see a reason to brazen borrower now. Regardless of what they do, they're gonna make their land drop. Okay, looks like they're not strip mining us, which is perfect. Oh, they have Shatter Skull Smashing in their deck. Interesting. So they might be playing like 4-color green, 5-color green, which is a cool deck. Let's see what they play here. This might just be Birthing Pod, but if they Birthing Pod and then they pod into something, we can just bounce whatever they podded for. They are going for Birthing Pod. If they have, what 4-drop could they have that I'm afraid of? Nothing. I'm afraid of nothing. They actually have no mana here. I honestly might just brazen borrow their pod. Because they can't pod in response because it's a fetch. And then we just get to kill it. We can just kill Fraley. Yeah. Because then I can kill their Ramanov excavator and then kill land. Yeah, this seems brutal. I'm gonna get rid of their pod. Well, they have no mana in play, so they can't pod in response. That's brutal that they had to fetch land. Wow, that was very fortunate for us. But, you know, we take those. Good catch, me. Good job. We'll pat on the back. That was a good catch. So in case you missed it, fetch lands do enter untapped, but because it's an activated ability, I can respond. Like, the cost gets paid before the ability goes in the stack. So I have to pay 1 life and sacrifice it. Then the ability goes in the stack for them to get a land. And then in response to that trigger, I bounced their thing. And then because they didn't have any mana in play, their land is in the graveyard. They don't have anything to block with. We just got to do that for free, which I like. So we can actually Fraley's kill Courser, which is probably what I'll do. We're going to return a land from the graveyard. We're going to get back Weighted Foothills. We do have another red source to get. So we're going to do that. Then our library even more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That lets us kill Courser. Then we get to kill Ramanov Excavator. That makes them have to play Crucible if they want to play lands out of their graveyard. Which is awesome. So yeah, they have a bunch of cards in their hand, but we do too, and we have way more. We have 2 planeswalkers in play. We have more lands in play than they do. So we're doing just fine. Strip Mine is not good against our deck. We have Run in 6 and Excavator, so we're just fine. Casualties is one way they could get out of this. Zealous is pretty good. We don't have a counterspell, so they get it. I think they're probably going to take... Okay, they take Glorybringer. That's actually pretty bad. We lose whichever planeswalker they want to kill, which is probably Fraley's, if I had to guess. Honestly, it could be worse, though. I'd imagine they exert it, because it doesn't super matter if they don't exert it, and that makes us lose Wall of Blossoms. That was a good draw from them. What is attacking what? Oh, wait. It just... Oh, I always forget this card deals 4. I always think it deals 3 for some reason. That's why. I was like, why did it die? I know why. That's honestly fine. We got a lot of value out of that card, so... Killing their land doesn't super make sense because we know that they have Crucible in their hand. Playing Gargoth seems really good. So I'll probably just go like Gargoth plus Magda. Call it a day. Does this draw cards? It does draw cards. Whenever I play against people, though, they always just put more beasts into play, so that's probably what I'll do. I doubt they have Wrath in their deck. It was a little unfortunate. We did like having both of our planeswalkers, but do have a ton of lands in play, and if they don't have a way to kill Gargaroth, we're going to just start getting a lot of value. We still have our Glorybringer. It's not like they killed our Glorybringer, too. So they are still under a lot of pressure. Fastbound is fine. That lets them Oh, wait, they get to strip all our lands away now. But they don't have a lot of life. So they do get to kill a bunch of our lands. But they'd have to pay 2, 4, 6. They have to pay 7 life, so they'd just be dead on board if they do that. Yeah, they don't have enough life. Because Fastbound eats... So the combo here, they can play lands out of their graveyard because of Crucible of Worlds. So they can keep replaying Strip Mine out of their graveyard and kill their lands. And Fastbound lets you play as many lands as you want in a turn, but if it's not the first one, you take 1 additional damage each turn. So they could... Wait, why are they not taking damage? Oh, they are. Okay. I was like, what? They're doing it in response to the trigger, that's why. So each land they want to kill, they eat a bunch of damage, but we have a Gargaroth in play. So I don't know if this works out for them. They do eat all of our green sources, which makes sense. But we do have Magda, so we do end up getting at least a green source out of our deck. We do end up getting a treasure token. But Arbor Elf doesn't tap for green anymore, so that's unfortunate. Fastbound is good to know about. They have Fastbound Strip Mine Crucible, which is like really fun actually. It's cool. Cool combo. We can also just like if they leave us with Island in play, we have an Island in our hand, we can flash on Brazen Barber, so they're under a bunch of pressure. Still, even though they got a sweet combo, I think it's like a few turns too late. If they had that like 2 turns ago, we would have just lost, but it is good to know they have Strip Mine too, so they can always turn 1 Strip Mine us, so we have to be careful about what land we expose turn 1 if we're not playing like an elf or something. Yeah, I think we still got it, unless they have like a Wrath in their deck, which would be really weird in their creature deck to play Wrath. Listen, I've done it before, but they are going to... I think that makes sense, killing an additional blue source of ours, or they're not doing that. Okay, interesting. Land Solemn seems fine, but I think land Brazen Borrower is even better. So we're going to attack. We're going to exert so that way our Magda doesn't die. So we're going to do that trigger last. We're going to do it like that. We're going to get a 3/3 Beast token. Again, if they have a Wrath, they have a Wrath. Okay, yeah, we got there. Okay, so we do have a bunch of information about their deck. They're actually playing a surprisingly similar deck to us. They have Ash Trophy and they have Strip Mine. That's something to be aware of. But luckily our start was pretty good with our Super Planeswalker start. I could see playing Pyroclasm against them, but I don't know if it's good enough. It's not like they're an opposition deck. That would be a better reason to bring it in. I don't think I'm playing Eureka. So, yeah. We'll just run it back. If you guys didn't notice, I did, again, cut out a Forest for another play. Just makes sense. This hand's pretty bad. 2 of all of our colors, and we can Rish import them, though. So I think I'm just going to keep... This might be wrong. Hopefully they're, like, relying on Strip Mine being good. And then we just have a ton of lands in hand. That would be cool. Oko makes his hand way better. Because then we can turn 2 Rish and import them, and then turn 3 Oko, which seems pretty good against their deck. Let's see what they do. They can't Strip Mine us because we have Scalding Tarn in play. We didn't crack it immediately because we are disciplined players. And we do everything right as much as we can. I just noticed their name is Uber the Goober. That's a pretty good name. They start on Taiga, and they play Jorga Tree Speaker, which is way better turn 1. And we actually get to port down their land. They have another land. Maybe they're trying to bait me into something. They have a swamp. Okay, so this is actually probably pretty good. We get to port down their green source, so they need specifically a green source if they want to use their card. We're going to grab Breeding Pool because enters tapped. We would not like to pay life. We're going to port them during their upkeep, and we have the 2 best Planeswalkers in our hand. That is awesome. And we have the mana to cast them. They can't level up at instant speed, so they can't level up in response. You can only level up as a sorcery. So this hurts them pretty bad. And even though I do like porting them again, even if they don't play a green source, I think I'd rather just get done Oko. It's a huge problem for them. So they are going to Strip Mine. That's fine. We have the mana to cast our spells anyways, so that actually works out fine. We're just going to do the exact same thing. Port them down. And we have the blue lands. Like, our mana is good, so we're good. We can cast our spells. So that basically did nothing. They got one more point of damage against us. I shouldn't say it did nothing. They do have a green source, so they can Tree Speaker, but we are going to get Oko off, which looks pretty good. And then if they do play what's it called? If they do play Crucible, we can just steal it with Dak, which is going to be awesome because we have lands in our graveyard from fetching and from them strip mining us. Assuming they level up Tree Speaker, that makes sense. They attack us for 1, so they don't have any plays this turn, which is awesome. You're going to play out Oko, which should be pretty good against them. We're just going to make a food token. This makes it so they can't kill it with Zealous. If we did the other plus, they could kill it with Zealous. Actually, they couldn't. Yeah, they could, because they could untap their own Tree Speaker. Actually, could they kill it? No. I can't do math. I'm a science major, not a math major. Hopefully, that's actually, we can't take that with Dax. That's actually pretty annoying. But we are just going to get a 3/3 every turn from Oko. I don't think they can beat Noko. Oh, they got an Assassin's Trophy. That's really good. We are going to use Assassin's Trophy's effect. I think we grab another blue source, actually, because this lets us play Glenelendra. That was actually a really fortunate draw for them. I think that's probably the only way in their deck they have to deal with Oko, and they had it, which is pretty rough. The issue is all of our lands are just going to die. I think I'm playing Dak and looking for a way to, like, be able to cast my spells. It's unfortunate they had Excavator instead of the artifact one that we could just kill. I'm going to look for some stuff to do. We're going to discard. We probably want to keep all of our lands. I don't think Glen is going to be good here, and I don't super like opposition. But maybe I am supposed to keep opposition, but we'll just run it back like that. You can play Llanowar Elves plus Brazen Borrower next turn, which should be pretty good. They are just going to strip mine us every turn, so do need to find a Ren and 6 or something to circumvent that. They do get to put Dak down to 1, which is fine. Or they're not going to. Okay, they put him down to 1, so we still get to plus him, which is awesome. We get to take another turn. They're thinking about something. Here's Downfall. K-Command is pretty good. We will discard, I guess, Mountain, because we can just grab it off Wooded Foothills. No, we don't have another Mountain to get, so we actually discard Wooded Foothills. That's actually a dead card. Glorybringer, oh, I wish this was a treasure token. That would be sick. They're probably just going to kill our red source. We don't even have a second red source anyway, so just going to play Llanowar Elves. Probably stop on their upkeep. We already have a stop there to Brazen Borrower. Does that do anything? I think maybe, I think if I Brazen Borrower, they're going to kill our blue source, which is not what we want. So I think I just let them actually just strip mine. This is pretty brutal. Luckily, we did have a lot of lands. So I have stuff to do. I could also just see we're supposed to just play out Brazen Borrower as a 3/1 and start pressuring their life total. Decisions. I'm just going to play out Brazen Borrower as a 3/1. This puts a clock on them. And we got rid of like all the removal spells already, so. The problem with their combo, though, is that they don't need to invest. Like, every turn we play a land, we're functionally discarding a card, whereas they don't have to, like, they're just playing another graveyard, so I think they're going to get there. They do get to kill another one of our lands. So yeah, this is getting dicey. We don't outrace them. All Blossoms is a good draw. Maybe we play out our red source in hopes that they kill our red source instead of our green source, which is what they did last time. Because we want double green for Yavimaya. That seems risky, because if they just kill our forest, that just means they get to kill another land, but I think I'm going to do it. This also lets us use our food token, which I like. Just going to sit here and do nothing, so. Duress is annoying, because now they know they want to kill our green source, but they don't get to discard anything, which is good. We do still beat them, like, clockwise. We have Brazen Bar in play, and we have a food token to gain 3 life, so they do need to start doing something. This means they are just going to strip our green source. So our best draw is a green source. And then we get to play Yavimaya Elder and then sacrifice it. That would be awesome. Because then we get 2 more lands and another card. So it's functionally like drawing 3 cards. See if they attack. Assuming they attack, yeah. It makes sense. So we don't want to lose our only green source, so we're just going to block like that. Take 3, which is the same amount of damage that we're dealing to them, but we have a food token and they don't. Sacrifice our food. Hopefully green source off the top would be our best draw. Oh, we are 1 land short. That is tragic. So that means we're probably in danger. That means I'm just going to attack them with both. Deal 4. This puts them down to 11. It's the same clock, but this is better if they play like Courser or something. We can port them, which is fine. Take them off their red source. We still control another green source next turn and play Yavimaya Elder, which would be perfect. So we can kill their Death Toucher too. During their upkeep, we're going to port them. There's nothing better to do, so. They're in a full swing. We take 3. We're going to block 2. So that way we only take 3. So we are still winning the race. Hopefully they just strip mine, kill our red source, we top deck a green source. Be ideal. Oh, they get rid of port. Interesting. Okay, we got a green source, which is perfect. Because now we get to play Elder, which is exactly what we wanted. Because now if they attack, we can trade with Acidic Slime, which reduces their clock a lot, and we get 2 more lands off the top, which is just what we want. Let's see, what 2 to 3 drops would we want to cast out of our deck? We would want to cast Excavator, which we already have a green source. We would want to cast Uros. That would be a reason to get another green/blue sources. And we need red for Ren and 6, which we already have. So if this dies, we'll probably grab blue-green. Okay. Looks like they foregoed strip mining us for the 18th time to actually play something to threaten us, which makes sense. Let's see what it is. It's like a life game. That's not my favorite. Shatter Skull Smashing is really, really, really good. They get to kill our clock and our green source, so that's probably the game. That was, wow, our opponents kind of had the nuts here. That was a really fortunate draw for them. Wow. Yeah, so that's probably the game. We don't really have a way to win anymore, unfortunately. That was kind of our out as was doing that. Have a Maya Elder. I think we have to. Oh, there's actually no basic lands left to get. All right, we're gonna make our opponent kill us, because they are behind on time. That gives us a slight edge, but I think they got it. Us paying 2 to sacrifice our creature was silly. I didn't notice that all of our basics were gone. I just assumed there were more. Shatter Skull Smashing was huge though. That removed our clock. I forgot they had that in their deck. We did see that last game. So we're basically playing the same deck, except they're playing black and we're playing blue. It's a shame they killed our Oko. We would have been able to do some damage. It will take them a while for them to kill us though, which is good. You're gonna block. We're doing 2 damage a turn so far. Excavator, you are too late, my guy. You would have been really good way earlier. We have plenty of lands to play out of our graveyard, so. All of Blossoms is just gonna sit here and block the Excavator every turn. We get to see more of their deck, potentially. Okay, we know that Chupacabra's in their deck now. We did not know that before. We're gonna strip mine us again. Now they're getting life off of strip mining us. Yeah, that's pretty good. Their deck seems sweet. I wonder if they have Ren and 6 in their deck. Going to block. So we're dead in 2 turns. They dismembering? What is this? Oh, pod. Yeah, I forgot. They have pod in their deck. We will pass the turn. The deck actually seems cool. So it's good to know. Okay, they have Ancient Grudge too. That's good to know. It's good to know that they. So as a 4-drop, they can grab. They can grab a kill spell off of pod. That's good to know. So we go into what? 1, 3. Perfect. We can win from here. Black Lotus. Play Limmering Falls tapped. Pass the turn. They're probably gonna strip mine it, yeah. Our opponent got the perfect victory. We did have a ton of lands, but they don't need to invest anything to just strip mine us over and over again. Whereas we have to invest a card out of our hand every turn to keep up with that, because we don't have our own Excavator to play the graveyard. So there is gonna be game 3. I don't think I'm bringing anything in, so I'm just gonna run it back. Hopefully we get Ren and 6. That seems really good against their deck. It was really good game 1. I also wouldn't mind having Excavator in play. That seems awesome. We would like to go first. We do have Ren and 6, but we don't have a green source, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna have to mulligan, which sucks. That hand would be really good otherwise. This hand is fine. We do have a tap lane, which kind of sucks, but other than that, it's good. I want to keep Excavator because I know what their deck is doing. I think I'm getting rid of Arbor Elf. It doesn't tap for any mana right now because we don't have any forests in play. I'm gonna play a tap land, and then we play tap land plus Llanowar Elves next turn. Hopefully they don't strip mine us. That would be the game. All right, Overgrown Tomb is awesome. We're gonna play our Elf, which at least gives us green mana. We're gonna play tap land. We can play Excavator or Uro next turn, so a fetch land would actually be awesome. Fetch land off the top would be super good with Dryad. See what this is. Braid is fine. We do need to draw land now, though. All right, we drew land, never punished. I think we're just gonna Uro. We want to draw more lands to play. Did not draw a land, which sucks. We don't have double green for Yavimaya Elder, so we do need to play Dryad next turn if we don't draw land. Again, if they just strip mine our thing away, we're kind of screwed. Our 1 green source, because they did abrade our Llanowar Elves, which sucks. If they play Crucible, I'm just gonna play Ramanop, yeah. Because if they draw strip mine, we're just screwed. Actually, now I can play Yavimaya Elder. Yeah. So if they strip mine us next turn, we can just play Ramanop and then replay the land that they killed. So the other option would be like Dryad. Might be better. I'm gonna play. Let's see. I'm not playing Excavator here. I can play Elder or Dryad. Dryad makes it so it's better fixing. I think I'm just gonna play Elder. And then pass. If they strip mine us, that's fine because we have Excavator. As long as they don't have like strip mine plus a removal spell for our Excavator, that would be pretty bad. Can't stop them from doing that. See what this is. This questing beast is pretty good. We don't have a way to get rid of that yet, but if we draw land, we can Elder Gargoth, which seems pretty good. It'll trade, but we get a 3/3 out of the deal. Wall of Blossoms. If we hit a land, it'll be better. I think I am Wall of Blossoms. I really need to hit a land here in the next 2 turns. Questing Beast is pretty good against us. Magda is basically a land. We are going to get hit by Questing Beast again, but that's okay. We're going to keep Yavimaya Elder. I think we're in danger, but we could be okay, depending on how these turns go. Questing Beast is pretty good against us, but our life total really isn't the concern. It's not how we're going to lose. We're going to lose because we don't have any lands in play. Except their deck. They do get to hit a land drop every turn, though, because of Wooded Foothills, and we are really struggling on lands. Which is ironic. We have a lot of lands. Can't block Questing Beast. It has a ton of text, and one of it is that creatures with 2 or less can't block. And it's also good against Planeswalkers, which is probably why they brought it in, but we don't have any Planeswalkers in this hand, so... Hopefully they don't just have Assassin's Trophy for Elder Gargoth. That would be really bad. This makes me not want to suicide Yavimaya Elder. I think I'm just going to play Gargoth and pass. If they have Assassin's Trophy for Gargoth, it's probably just the game. But we'll see if they have it. They can't burn it out, so they have to have Assassin's Trophy is so far the only card that we've seen. Please, they're waiting. That makes me think they have it. It'd be really good. We can't really attack. There's no reason to get another Magda token here. Opposition would also be really good. A really good draw. Because we can just tap down Questing Beast. Please, please don't. Please. Please. You know, I've always loved and respected you, Uber the Goober. Please don't Assassin's Trophy or Elder Gargoth. You know, I've always been your biggest fan. All right. All right. Oh. At least they're slow rolling it, so I can feel a little bit better. See what they have. It's Questing Beast has Death Touch, so it's going to trade, but getting Questing Beast off the battlefield removes a lot of my anxiety. They also have 7 cards in hand, and we don't, which kind of sucks. A fetch would probably be our best draw, because then we could like Ramen up, fetch, play Dryad, play another fetch, start thinning our deck. We could also just get like a dragon would be good. Glorybringer. See what this is. This looks zealous. All right. That's really good. Looks like we are chumping here. All right. We're going to take a ton of damage. They're going to draw a card. Which is fine. We are going to kill Zealous. They get to kill probably Magda is what they want to kill. And then we're just going to chump Gargoth. So we only take 6. It's actually not the end of the world. Not what I wanted, but that's okay. It was a good play from them. Oh, they get to kill both. Oh, yeah, duh. I'm going to put them in any order. We would like 2 basic lands out of our deck. We're going to grab... Both of our fetches can grab... Wait, what are our 2 fetches? They can... Both of our fetches can grab red, so we're going to take our 2 non-mountains in case we get a fetch. Opposition's great. So we can play... Okay, opposition's perfect. So we can play Dryad, land, opposition, tap down Questing Beast, attack with Elder Gargoth, and it lives. Which is perfect. That is a great draw. It has Vigilance, and we get a boy. We're going to tap down Questing Beast with Dryad. That was a really, really good draw. Wow. I love opposition, in case you can't tell. We're going to get a 3/3. Let's just tap down more stuff. So I think we are supposed to tap down a land, I guess. Can't take them off green or black, which is what we would want to stop them from Assassin's Trophying. That's one of the few ways they can get out of our chokehold here. So I think I tap down 1 land, and then I'll tap down their Questing Beast when they go into combat. Seems fine. I can take them off nothing. They have 3 red sources. They have 3 black sources. They have 4 green sources. So Triple red or triple black, I guess. We'll just tap down Badlands, I guess. Tap down our beast. We tap down their questing beast at the end of their turn. They're floating for what? Assassin's Trophy? Assassin's Trophy would be pretty good. They can kill either Gargoth or Opposition, which are two great targets for them to kill. They do only have 5 minutes left on their clock, though. It's like now if they have Strip Mine, like we're literally fine. Like we have stuff in play. We don't really need our lands anymore. We also have Ramanop in our hand, so we're looking in decent shape. Opposition was a huge draw there. Wow. That was really fortunate. I love this card so much. It just changes the way the game is played. And it feels fun when it's on your side of the battlefield. Playing against it, that one game was not very fun, but having it in your deck is fun. They do have Assassin's Trophy. I'm assuming they kill Gargaroth, but maybe they kill Opposition. Okay, they do kill Gargaroth, so we're going to tap down Questing Beast using our Gargaroth. That makes sense. We are going to use its ability. We have exactly one basic left. No more creatures. Having Opposition in play, though, it's going to be good. And do we have enough cards in our graveyard now? Yeah, we have enough to escape Uro, so I think we're going to be just fine. Ooh, sacrifice a creature? That's fine. We'll sacrifice the beast. For some reason, I thought this had a sacrifice enchantment mode. That would be really bad, because we do want our Opposition in play. Okay, that's... Honestly, it could be way worse. Because we're going to get Uro, so... We're going to flashback Uro for 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to exile... Let's exile a bunch of creatures. They're all creatures. Done. Need to draw a card. No. We can hold up Brazen Borrower, or we can just Avalanche Riders. I think just Avalanche Riders, one of their lands. It's not good, but it's also just putting a creature in play. It's efficient use of our mana. They already cast what's it called? They already cast Zealous, so I don't super see a reason to keep up Brazen Borrower. As much as it's like low random, like this doesn't really do that much, but you can take them off some black sources actually, so that's pretty good. We can just stop during their upkeep. Tap down Bayou. They are fetching. It's actually really low on life. You're going to tap down Bayou with our Avalanche Riders. This takes them off double black, so they can't like Hero's Downfall or what's it called? Casualties of War, which would be really brutal. Would it actually be worth it if they go like Swamp Casualties of War? I think that's like one of the few ways we can lose, genuinely. So honestly, I think I'm just gonna tap down their other black source. They can't kill us. They already play Zealous. That might be greedy. We'll find out. But I think it's good. Because we can just not pay for Avalanche Riders and still tap down Questing Beast. Actually, we probably are going to pay and then just like play Ramanov Excavator and win that way. We can just animate one of our lands for the same price. See what they do. Hopefully this isn't Thragtusk. Thragtusk would be bad for us. It'd still be okay, but it wouldn't let us just win next turn, which is what we want. Birthing Pod is fine. They're Birthing Podding now? What do they have to get? Oh, they can grab Acidic Slime on Opposition. That's actually pretty good. But we can just Petty Theft their Acidic Slime, so we got them. They also would be dead anyways, because we can just animate our thing. Interesting. We are going to yield. We are not going to pay, because we could just animate our boy. We're going to cast Petty Theft. We're going to animate Lumbering Falls. Okay, we got there. Oh, all right. This league was pretty stressful. I think our deck was good, but the one thing we were missing from our deck was Strip Mine and or something to do with all of our mana. A lot of the games we just like, we had these great early turns and we had like so many lands in play, but we really only had like Gargaroth and Glorybringer. I think I should have been more aggressive with my picks to try to pick like ways that we can actually win the game that cost like 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So that's that. I think I learned how to draft this deck a little bit better next time. But we went 2-1, which is great. We got to play some broken planeswalkers. Teamer has some great planeswalkers, probably rivaling blue black, honestly, with Ren and Six, Dak, and Oko are all super good. Especially since our mana is great, so we could cast them on curve every single time. We only have 2 more days left in the league, so there's going to be 2 more videos. After that, I'm going to stop uploading. I only really play Vintage Cube, so if you like these videos, if you like Vintage Cube, subscribe. It'll let you know when I come back, when Vintage Cube comes back. I'm not going to flood your inbox with random off-topic videos. So I'll see you in the next one.